First time driving the M5.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Poster from the Beemer Fam. We're back at it again today. Before we get into anything, please make sure you hit that bell button so you actually get a notification when I upload or go live. YouTube is not very good with their notification system. Them themselves have said it's broke, so please make sure you guys hit that notification bell for me. Today we're going to talk about the new BMW concepts that just got unveiled at the BMW convention as of yesterday. The main one I really want to talk about is the Vision M Next concept. But first we got to go get some gas because we're cruising around town right now, and I just wanted to start talking to you guys about how a BMW enthusiast, a driving enthusiast, feels about these upcoming concepts that BMW have just released. A lot of you may know my origin story already, but for those of you who don't know, I'll give you a quick run through. The main channel I'm a part of is Beemer Fam. My brothers and I created Beemer Fam because our family has always been called the Beemer family. We've had everything from E36 M3 to E39 M5 to E63 M6 to X5s to E92 M3s to the newer model 750 my dad just picked up. So we have a lot of experience driving BMWs, talking about BMWs, etc. I just want to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how I feel coming up through the entire BMW lineage, driving all these cars, having been around all these cars for so long, and really just like react to how these BMW concepts look and how they'll probably drive on a day-to-day basis. There is nothing like the sound of this V8. That in the combination with the exhaust that I have. Okay, now that we got some proper fuel, let's have a little chat here. So between both of the new concepts, forgive me if I'm butchering the name, but the Vision 100 Next and the Vision M100 Next or something like that, between both of their concepts, I really do like all the new technology they are implementing and putting into these concept cars, if you will. The self-driving aspect. I like how the wheel can go back into the car and be part of the dashboard seamlessly and be hands-free. I like the i8 style doors being on all four of the doors, including the back ones. That's a pretty cool concept to me. I do like how they're looking forward and keeping the hybrid life going and being eco-friendly, because these days everybody is eco-friendly and gas-friendly. I do like the active geometry that I saw on the non-M concept. I like how the wheels are inside the wheel well and the car actually kind of flexes with the turn of the wheels. It's pretty cool. It's definitely a new technique, a new style. That being said, would I buy either of these cars? Now when it comes to the M concept, I'm not a big fan of the way it looks. It looks like they tried to mesh an i8 and an M8 together by force. I'm not really a fan of those angles at the bottom under the light. I think really the car looks better as an i8 or as an M8. I don't think that concept really looks that well for me personally. I know some people like it, maybe an unpopular opinion. I'm more of a fan of the classic BMW in general, so I'm probably not the best best person to comment on the styling, just because I don't really even care for the new G series styling compared to the E series. I think the new G series tries to do too much. I think it's too angular. It's too modern classy. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm just gonna say how I feel. That being said, the new M concept being all hybrid as well, and I think they said it puts out 590 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. When it comes down to being a BMW and doing what the heritage itself is being a driver's car, having a nice driving experience and being a part of the car, it doesn't really check any of those boxes. It is being dubbed a supercar, which is nice because we have been missing a supercar entry by technicality in BMW. I think really the last supercar we would consider, or things that would knock on that door, was really the E63 M6, just in terms of it being a coupe, you know, carbon fiber top, a V10 naturally aspirated. It checked off all that SMG, checks all the typical boxes of what was a supercar at the time. I know a lot of people might consider the M8 knocking on the door of a supercar, and it kind of is in terms of what you can do to it and how fast it can be. But in terms of an actual supercar by build, by name, BMW doesn't even call the M8 a supercar. They call it a gentleman's luxury sports sedan or something like that. So we're missing an actual link for the supercar for BMW, and for them to have shown off an electric supercar by name kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because it's a completely automated car pretty much, or it can be, and it is electric, no stick option, there's none of that. It's just basically an i8 super upgraded. I'll save my full rant for another day in another video, but I personally am just not the biggest fan of the direction BMW has been going lately with their vehicles. They are more tailored towards being a luxury vehicle with sports capability, which you can argue that it kind of has been that at all time, but BMW has made their name by, quote, being the ultimate driving machine, and that's why their cars have been so renowned throughout all the years for driving and having fun in, because the weight distribution is 50-50, which is perfect. Can slide them, can move them. They've always felt connected to the road. Is, you know, even with getting technology, they've always felt a part of the road. They've always offered a stick option in cars, which further enhances my driving experience and a lot of enthusiast driving experience. But the fact that they offer such an option, whether you want it or not, is a great thing for driving enthusiasts and people who love to drive these cars manually. Lately, they have been getting rid of manual options and really making them super luxurious, which I like the luxury of the cars, but don't lose the character of the cars by doing so. Most BMW enthusiasts will tell you that the new BMWs do not drive like the older series for many reasons, but they just do not feel as connected to you or the road as they used to. They're just very electronically driven and meant to be more refined. That being said, I do understand them wanting to continue with developing the luxury aspect, but when it comes to the M car specifically, there needs to be a balance between luxury and being on the road with the car. And they've always been good at balancing these things, really up until now. The F80 M3, the F82 M4, none of them drive like this E92 M3 or an E39 M5 or an E60 M5, an E63 M6. None of these new cars drive like that. As fast as you can make them, as torquey as you can make them, as quick as you make them, they will never sound, they will never feel like an older model, like one of these older M's in the generation, just because of the way they are made and what the focus has been. BMW has been really concerned with gas consumption and emissions lately, and that's really been their way of justifying the changes and V10 naturally aspirated anymore. They're not going to make these muscular engines anymore. So really overall for me, rant aside, I see the day-to-day life of the BMW or these potential concepts never really returning back to how this one even feels or even beforehand. It's going to be a more refined taste from here on out. We won't have the type of driver options we want anymore from BMW in general. Whether that includes a stick shift transmission or a naturally aspirated V8 or something like that, we just probably won't see these anymore. It'll probably be more towards the turbo and the hybrids, and increasingly more of the hybrid option as the years go by. They are still very nice cars. They are very luxurious. They will be great for what they're built to be, but they will never be what they once were, if that makes sense. So if more of a raw driving experience is what you seek, whether it's in an M car or non, you probably won't find that anymore. You'll have to get an older model, whether it's an E92 M3 or an E60 M5 or an E39 M5. I don't see myself getting that Concept M if that were to come out. It probably won't come out the way that it's made right now. The way that BMW does it, they'll probably divvy up some of the technology between cars, and eventually we'll probably see a car like that. Like I said, it's probably going to be an i8 line or some type of new i line. Eventually all of the cars will be going hybrid. Many of the 3 Series, the 5 Series, the 7 Series have hybrid options as well now. I could see myself possibly getting one of the automated BMWs for sure. I would like to have one of those rather than a Tesla, so I could still be at a BMW. And I do like the 4 doors coming up. As it sits now, I really have a hard time justifying going from this car into really any other BMW at this point. As much as I love the M2, I like the M4, the M5, they're just not for me. They're not the type of big driving experience that I tend to enjoy. I tend to enjoy more of the naturally aspirated sounds, usually the stick transmission or an SMG. I do like the M6, but we may have one of those coming to the channel sometime soon. As for me, what would you guys like to see me move from? If I were to ever sell this car and get an upgrade, what would you like to see me make content with?